Welcome to today's more important analysis videos on Thursday, 21st of December with me, Richard Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets. Very muted open really on the Forex markets today. Nothing really doing pretty much whatsoever. Let's have a look at the Forex board. We got very little movement across the majors on any real scale. Gold's basically flat, marginally ticking higher, but basically flat on the day. You've not really had any real reaction to tax reform going through in Congress, apart from on the equities. Interestingly, equities are coming off. Is this sort of a move that would suggest that some of or much of the move has already been baked in, buy on rumour, sell on fact? Perhaps a little bit of profit taking with pretty much all the news out there now on Wall Street. Subsequently, we're seeing a little bit of downside moves. The DAX, wow, what a reversal that is. Broke out on Monday, but since then it's just basically gone into reversal mode. And 13,000 is a massive level near term, and a breakdown below that would sort of see back at 12,800 again. So big support there, possibly due to be tested today. But the dollar has basically gone nowhere. If anything, it's actually slipped in the last few days as tax reform has come to fruition, which is really, again, fairly counterintuitive considering we've got these treasury yields which have now picked up sharply. But that sharp rise in treasury yields has sort of not really sort of translated through to the dollar broadly, because we've seen an equally sharp rise in other major yields. Let me just show you gilt yields, for example. Sharp rally, sharp rise in gilt yields as UK gilts have been sold off, and also on the Bund as well. The Bund yield has actually picked up sharply as supply of longer dated German Bunds has been announced. Subsequently, yields across the major economies have all risen, and subsequently the dollar hasn't really taken the benefit of that. Certainly against the euro, anyway. Yen, perhaps a little bit of a different story. Dollar yen has still got that tight correlation with the 10-year yield, so 10-year yield rising and dollar yen rising as well. But pretty much that is the only one that the dollar is getting traction on, is dollar yen. So what have we got to look forward to today? Well, not a huge amount. Again, a little bit of US data in the afternoon could have an impact, though. You've got the final reading of GDP expected to be 3.3%, which would match the preliminary reading, which is the second reading in the States, of 3.3. And if there's a surprise on that, you could see a bit of traction on the dollar this afternoon. But much beyond that, we are pretty much fairly quiet. A little bit of Philly Fed possibly at 1:30 as well could have an impact. 21.5, so slightly down from 22.7 last time out. And yeah, the Eurozone consumer confidence is at 3 o'clock, expected to tick slightly higher by a tenth to 0.2 positive. So my chart of the day is Euro Yen, which after weeks of ranging has now broken out to the upside as this yen has weakened in recent days. The Bank of Japan announced monetary policy today, and again didn't really signal any real move to sort of follow the other major central banks in terms of just beginning on its tightening cycle. So subsequently, the yen is still weak. Broke out above 34.50 yesterday on a closing basis. 34.60 was the close, and it seems seemingly continuing today. So a continued sort of move to the upside on a confirmed basis for a second daily close above 34.50 would suggest the upside is then open. But look at the upside potential. You'd measure that as a range really. So that gives you what, 330 pips of upside potential, and that continues this move towards the levels that it was back at 2015, and 37 big figure. Actually, if I zoom in here very quickly, 37 big figure was the next breakout high. broadly speaking. So there is upside potential for that target to be met. Certainly. Look at the momentum indicators; they are strongly configured now, with the RSI sort of pushing into the mid 60s. Needs to continue really though. And you've got the stochastics, which are showing strong sort of traction. MACD lines have only just started ticking higher, so you do need to see this continuing higher. And I'd say you'd be looking to see a sort of correction, maybe 34.95 towards 34.50. If you see another sort of reaction low there, and then the market starts to sort of gather support and push on again, that would be certainly a bullish move. So you've got a nice sort of band of support, I'd say 34.95 towards 34.50 now. You can see that on the hourly chart, where 34.95 is, as I said, basis of a near-term breakout as well. Get it on that sort of basis of a near-term breakout. So you've got this sort of building move on the hourly chart, where you've got sort of the market sort of retested the breakout 34.45 yesterday and today before sort of pushing on higher. So there is sort of there is still potential for a bull run to continue on this, RSI 63, so there is still potential, I think, in this to move higher. So it's looking positive on euro yen now. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.